Welcome back to Math with Patrick. Today is July 16th, and we're solving problem number 197 from the Daily Epsilon calendar. And here we're talking about coin flipping. A coin is flipped until there are either 4 heads in a row or a tail followed by 3 heads. What is the reciprocal of the chance that the last flip is heads? So this part gives us a scenario, and then this part is asking us for a probability. Well, the reciprocal of a probability. A reciprocal of a fraction is just its flip. So 3 over 1, or I guess just 3, is the reciprocal of 1/3. And so if we expressed, say, some probability as 1/3, then its reciprocal is 3. For coin tosses, like heads or tails, the probability of flipping heads is 1/2, so the reciprocal there is 2. And honestly, I feel like the answer to this problem should be 2. It doesn't matter what happens before you flip a coin. If you're just asking what's the chance that the last flip is heads, well, it's either heads or tails. It does not matter what happens before you flip the last thing. It'll be a 1/2 chance. And then the reciprocal of 1/2 is 2. So already I just kind of disagree with the wording here, because the chance to flip heads is 1/2. What I'm assuming they're talking about, though, is that we have 2 distinct scenarios that we're looking for. We're either looking for 4 heads in a row and then another heads, or we're looking for a tails followed by 3 heads. And then a fourth, actually, because I'm assuming this part of the sentence, what is the reciprocal of the chance that the last flip is heads? I'm assuming that they want one more flip right here. Because if they were talking about this one, we already know from our scenario that this flip is heads. And so there's a 100% chance that this last flip is heads because we've already assumed this much. Anyways, so I'm pretty sure this is kind of the scenario that we're talking about here, where we either want 5 heads in a row or we want tails, then 4 heads in a row. And we just want to know what's the chance that either of these things could happen, starting from right here, starting from the very, very beginning. So once we look at the first coin toss, heads or tails could be totally fine, and we're still kind of following either scenario. So it actually doesn't matter what our first coin flip is, and our probability is still 1. Now, once we move over to the second coin toss, we do need to guarantee a heads here, and then the chance for heads is 1/2. At this point, once we've gone to the next heads, and assuming that we're starting with the probability of starting at the very, very beginning, I want to know what's the probability of either getting 3 heads in a row or tails, then heads, then heads. And all we really got to do is just multiply another 1/2. So the probability of getting here is 1/4. And that means that the probability of getting here is 1/8, and then the probability of getting here is 1/16, and then finally getting the reciprocal is 16. So I don't like the wording on this problem. I think I know what they're getting at, but they probably should have worded it differently. What's the reciprocal of the chance that, and then when you flip a coin 5 times, you get 5 heads in a row or tails followed by 4 heads. That would be totally fine. But right here, when they're asking what's the reciprocal of the chance that the last flip is heads, it's just a 1/2 chance flipped to 2. So don't like the wording on it. I think this is what they're going for, because I do end up with a 16. And that's all I got for today. So maybe you have a different interpretation. Please leave a comment if you feel like I should have solved it differently. But yeah, I'd like to hear from you. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. I'm looking forward to any comments, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.